Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, the Dark Fluid Research Facility on Meridia went into emergency shutdown, following what officials are describing as, quote, a close call. According to reports, the volatile exotic material suddenly collapsed into a micro black hole that spaghettified 12 facility members before evaporating. Production of weaponized dark fluid is scheduled to resume tomorrow, with no shortfalls projected in support of the ongoing operation to destroy the Terminid supercolony. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
Watch your step, Helldiver. We've got dark fluid on board now. One thing goes wrong, and we'll all be spaghettified before we know it. An entire planet compressed into an infinitesimally small point? Well, that's what happens when you resist the will of managed democracy. I'm a little nervous having the dark fluid aboard the ship. Apparently, there's a non-zero chance it could destroy the whole galaxy. But then again, we lose Super Earth. What hope is there for the galaxy anyway?
The Illuminate basically handed us this planet-destroying superweapon. Doesn't seem too bright for a highly advanced alien. Guess that's why they're dead now. Yeah, I've done a little reading up on the dark fluid, and it's actually pretty simple. Exotic matter with negative mass, amplifies the force of gravity, varies with local energy density, etc., etc. I won't bore you with the rest of the details. I'm sure you get it. I've been thinking, E710 comes from bugs and powers our warp drives. I wonder what happens when an entire planet of bugs gets compressed into an infinitesimally small point.
Helldiver, in the hour of our desperation, we may yet find salvation, but it will come at a terrible cost. The destruction of a planet is a tragedy that cannot be undone. But our enemies leave us no choice. Our greatest minds have designed a weapon with the capability to destroy a planet. With it, you will cleanse the galaxy of the abominable hive that Meridia has become. You are to deploy the dark fluid, an Illuminate technology discovered at the end of the First Galactic War. This exotic material yet holds many mysteries, but for now, we will use it to secure Liberty's future.
After fighting our way to Meridia, Operation Enduring Peace can now be commenced. The scientists of Super Earth managed to weaponize the dark fluid, which they claim came from the Illuminates. From our briefing, we need to use the drills to deliver the dark fluid into Meridia, and once it reaches critical mass, it will create a black hole, causing the planet to implode. Super Earth deemed Meridia to be lost and uninhabitable by humans. The super colony made sure of that. This was the only option. I don't even think the First Galactic War had any planet imploding operations. First time for everything. As for what I think of this whole operation of destroying an entire planet, just another mission for me. You know what they say, good soldiers follow orders. When we made into Meridia's orbit, I could not recognize the once blue beautiful planet. I was standing on the bridge observation deck, just staring at this green blemish in our galaxy. I headed towards the war table to begin the operation.
Launch initiated.
Fighting was fierce. Every drill we activated, the bugs retaliated.
Going down a support weapon.
Blood, bile, bullets flying from all directions and covering the ground.
Liberty, save me!
After doing all 3 drill sites, it was time to extract. But we didn't expect what was waiting for us down below. We felt the ground shake, a tremor. From the giant holes, shriekers started flying out.
Activating jump pack.
I have never seen this sheer amount of shriekers. They could even blot out the super sun if we didn't call their numbers. This was one of the missions in Meridia. We were also deployed to exterminate eggs and bug nests. Anything to dwindle the massive...
Requesting air support. Calling in orbital strike. Heavy, northeast, 50 meters. Calling in orbital strike. It's the fly beacon. Pelican 1 arriving at coordinates. Pelican 1 landing in progress. For Liberty! Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Alert.
A few days later, after coming back from another mission, an alarm started ringing across the Super Destroyer. The dark fluid has reached critical mass and we had to do an emergency FTL back to Super Earth.
Initiating FTL jump to Super Earth.
It was done. Meridia and the super colony was no more. All that was left was this black hole. I wasn't the only Helldiver that was curious to go near it.
The Meridia system.
I went back to see the fruit of our labor.
Meridia is destroyed at last. The threat of the Terminids is vastly diminished, but we cannot rest. The galactic
There it
war
was.
is far
Let this
from
be a reminder to all the enemies of democracy. The capabilities of Super Earth and Helldivers sometimes scares me. As I look into the so-called black hole, something was off for me. Even though I'm just a grunt, I still remember some parts of my astronomy class back in super school. One of them was the accretion disk around the black hole. It was missing here. Maybe the real thing was different compared to the ones we learned from the books, or something else altered its appearance. I remember the service tech talking about having a planet full of element 710 and what would happen once they get compressed all at once. It could lead to something else other than a black hole. Whatever this is, I have a feeling this is not the end.